All right, guys. I've had a lot of you messaging me on this jigging video I did on Lake Maxinkuckee, and I'm trying to answer all the questions as best I can. A lot of the common questions I got right off the bat was, hey, I went out there, I fished for 5 hours or so, and I couldn't get them. I've had people tell me, hey, how do you keep the boat control? And then obviously you get, whenever you put a public video out, you get a ton of people with negative comments because it seems like they have nothing better to do with their lives. So I want to answer a couple of your questions now. So I've taken the time to lay out some stuff here, and I'm gonna show you here as best I can with this. I'm just recording on my cell phone to do this video. So the first question I got was, hey Nate, you catch on these walleyes real deep, you got to be killing them. This can't be a good deal. So I want to show you this little tool I got here. This tool is made by Mustad. You can see it's backwards there, but it's called a fizzer tool. So what this is it folds out here, and this is just a needle. Let's see if I can show you here where you can see it. And it's just a needle that you insert into the fish, and that releases air for the swim bladder. This tool I found is actually for fishing in the ocean, because you catch them deep out there and they bulge out, so they have to fizz them. So I've used that tool on a few fish to test out to make sure that they were okay. I have a pond out behind my house here, about an acre pond I built, and a lot of these fish I catch, I'll release into this pond, and then I keep an eye on them and see how they do. So I caught a few walleye last year that were deep, and I fizzed them, and I put them in my pond to check their health, and I actually caught those fish later in the summer, and they were extremely healthy, no problems, no issues. Caught these fish out of 80 foot of water. Same thing with crappie. We caught, I want to say 30 or 40 crappies in one of my videos on Diamond Lake, and they were pretty deep. Same thing, they were bulging, their swim bladder was full of air. So we defizzed them with this tool, we put them in the pond, and they're super healthy. They're doing great. We feed them minnows every couple weeks, and they're fine. So to answer all the naysayers, you can catch fish deep, you can release them healthy. You just got to do the right steps. Reel the fish up slow, make sure they get as much air out of their system as they can, and then if they still have air, fizz them. A lot of these fish I don't have to fizz, I release them to go right back down, no problem. But some of them, you can tell you have to fizz. And then also go online and figure out where to poke the fish to fizz them, to release the air. You don't just find a bulge and stab this fish. There's a little art to it. You got to get up under the scale so you don't hurt the fish, and it works really good. So the next question I have is, Nate, how exactly are you catching fish jigging and staying on top of them? I'm not going to climb up in the boat, but I have a little compartment in the boat that has a 48-inch drift sock, two of them. So I'll use two Lindy's 48-inch drift socks, and I'll attach them to certain parts of the boat depending on the wind, and then I'll slow my drift down. All these fish you see I'm catching, I'm not spot locking, I'm not anchoring on them. I'm 100% a drift fisherman, so I drift over the breaks, I cover water, but I do it in a slow manner so I can see what's going on with the fish. And this is why I do that. On the front of my trolling motor here is my built-in transducer. So I have a hummingbird. This is a Tarova, Mikoto Tarova, and then I have a hummingbird. I just have a Helix 7 right here. Now, I don't have the down imaging transducer. I bought this Tarova probably 6 years ago. I know there's cooler, awesome stuff out there right now, which I would like to get into. But for now, this is what I have, a Helix 7 on Tarova with a built-in transducer. So when you see me fish out the front of the boat, I'm specifically jigging where my bait is under that transducer so I can see my bait. The reason I do this is not so I can see the fish hit, which is really cool, but it's more to see the fish react to the bait. Because on any given day, I can go on Maxinkuckee and know that there's a size 9, this is a size 7 here, I'm gonna show you here. This is a size 7, so this UV Tiger Fire Pink is just a killer bait on Lake Maxinkuckee. This is a size 7, I usually use size 9 with 7/8 ounce. But there's days I go out there and they won't even touch this bait. And so I cannot stress this enough. You need to be able to see your bait under your transducer when you're jigging, not to catch the fish, but to see how they're reacting to it. If you come over a fish and the fish doesn't come up off the bottom at all to your bait, then you are not even in the game. You don't even have the right size or the right color or the right cadence. So what I recommend is mess around with it. If I go to a new lake, a lake that I haven't fished before, my go-to color is this chrome, silver, and blue. This is a size 7. This is actually my go-to bait when I go to a new lake with walleye. I will start with this bait because it seems to catch the most consistently on all the lakes. Not necessarily the most fish, but the most consistently. I catch fish almost every lake with this bait. Now, it may not be the hot producer, but it does catch fish. And that kind of tells me what I'm fishing for too, because a lot of times I'll use this bait on some of my videos, and a walleye video will turn into a crappie video because all I'm catching is, 12, 13-inch crappie with this bait. Another great bait, this is Lake of the Woods bait. This is called, I believe, Royal Perch. But you can see it's got a chrome finish to it, and it's a perch color. This again is a size 7, and this is a really good bait for like Lake of the Woods. But this bait was not producing on 2 of my trips I went out, and I was getting really frustrated with the bait. And I was thinking, well, I'm doing something wrong. Again, you got to be able to see your bait underneath the transducer, because they would come up, they would look at it, they'd hang out, and they go down. I will tell you the key when you got the right bait. When you're jigging and you don't even see the fish come up off the bottom and you're getting a hit, and then later on you see the mark coming up off the bottom after you hook the fish, then you know you've got the right color and the right size. Until that happens, keep messing with the colors. You may catch 1 or 2 with, like the chrome or blue, which is a good go-to color, but that doesn't necessarily mean, as I drop the phone, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the best baits to be using on that lake. So you'll see me a lot of times, maybe in the videos or not, where I will just keep swapping out colors, swapping out sizes, playing with different things. Because what I found on all these lakes, whether it's white bass, crappie, or walleye, they are specific certain days to certain colors and sizes, color probably being the most. And when you find that right color, there's no question they're gonna show you that that's what they're looking for. So this is, I believe, called Royal Perch. I'm not quite sure the name on this one. Maybe you guys will know that, but this bait right here, the last couple of years, has turned into an absolute stud bait. I don't know why. I don't know what specifically this bait is mimicking. It doesn't really have a perch. It kind of has an emerald shiner. I don't know what you can see there, but you can see the blue in it. But this has turned into a really good bait for me over the years. So I'll show you kind of what I've got going on with my tackle so you get an idea. Let's see how well I can see this. So as you can see here, I got quite the array. I mean, I've got Acme. These are called flutter minnows, I believe. I'm not a big fan of this bait in deep water because, 1, it's a light bait. 2, you're supposed to be able to hook the line up to this little thing and it drops down and the wings don't come out. That never happens. The wings always come out, and then this thing just takes forever to get to the bottom. It's also really hard to keep under the transducer. A lot of times I'll upgrade to a size 9, even though the size 7 is catching them. I'll upgrade to a size 9. I'll show you here. I'll upgrade to a size 9, 7/8 ounce, just because it's windy enough. I got to keep that bait underneath my transducer. So as I'm drifting, the bait goes out from under my transducer, and that's no go because I don't know how the fish are reacting to the bait. Again, once you find the right bait, color and size combination, that's the key. So we have a lot of different options in here. Chrome and black is a good one on Pike Lake and Winona Lake. Chrome and blue is a good one on Lake of the Woods. This pink, well, you can see it there. This pink and white is really good on Lake Maxicukee. This regular natural perch color, I've done really good on Winona with that color. This bait here, and this one's kind of interesting. This bait right here, this bait sucks. This bait doesn't catch any fish around here. The fish don't like it. They don't react to it. But you're probably going, well, Nate, why do you have the bait? The reason I have this bait is because this is a friggin' killer bait on Lake Erie. So you get up around the islands in 20 to 22 foot of water and work this bait, you will destroy walleye on Lake Erie. That's a great Lake Erie jigging bait. So anyways, that's it. I just want to answer a few of you guys' questions that you've been asking me. I've been getting a lot of messages. And then I want to close this video with saying, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. It does help me a lot to keep doing these videos. And then also, if you have a lot of negative comments, just keep them to yourselves. I mean, I'm out here fishing, doing what a lot of people don't want to do, which is share what's working in this area for everybody else. I'm not doing it for notoriety. I'm doing it because I want everybody else to go out there and catch fish and have a good time and make this a good area. Because the more attention we get, the more the DNR is going to get funding, the more that we can support this area for our fisheries. Big shout out to Michiana Walleye Association. Don Shelton, I believe, is the president there. A lot of guys have been messaging me. They're part of that association. You guys are the reason that we can go out and catch these walleyes, so I really appreciate it. And that's it, really. And it's kind of long-winded, but I just wanted to answer a few of you guys' questions. So hopefully this helps you out, and hopefully you guys get out there and kill them. And as always, those guys that are messaging me, asking me for advice, I have no problem giving you advice. My one price to that is when you do catch them, send me pictures because I like to see what you guys get. So talk to you soon. Thanks again.